Test. Mic. Test.
Good morning. Please settle down. May I remind everyone that this is a special en banc session of the Supreme Court. Please observe proper decorum and conduct yourselves with utmost courtesy and respect due to the court and the solemnity of the ceremony. No attendee should exhibit any improper, unwarranted, offensive, or untoward behavior affecting or disrupting the proceedings. All cellular phones should be turned off or put on silent or airplane mode. Those who would be caught using cellular phones or those who failed to put their cellular phones on silent mode will be escorted out of the venue and will not be allowed to take their oath. Thank you very much. We shall now begin the oath-taking ceremonies.
All please rise. The Honorable, the Chief Justice of the Philippines and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having business before the Honorable Supreme Court of the Philippines shall give their attention, for the court is now in session.
Please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Supreme Court Hymn, to be led by the Supreme Court Choir.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo baka, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdilim. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta, ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Behold the guardians of our rights, enrolled in majesty and light. Uphold the fundamental law, from this writ all their judgments flow. With God hall. Love, truth, and fairness reign their hall. There stands the court of last resort, forever Supreme Court. With vision set on history, their mission leaves a legacy. For their honor, their faith, their names, the nation will acclaim. Justice and equity above, for love, truth, and fairness reign their hall. There stands the court of last resort, forever Supreme Court. With vision set on history, their mission leaves a legacy. For their honor, their faith, their names, the nation will acclaim. For their honor, their faith, their names, the nation will acclaim.
Please remain standing for the invocation to be led by the Honorable Associate Justice Japar B. Dimaampaw.
In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, Almighty God, the ultimate source of truth and supreme law, we give you thanks and praise for these newly minted lawyers. Thank you for journeying with them in their rigorous studies and training. Thank you for calling and choosing them as new advocates of social order, fairness, and justice. Now that you have granted them this privilege to serve you and your people, let them realize that their solemn duty and responsibility is to always uphold the rule of law. May they be our catalyst for systemic change as we promote a justice system that is founded on the majesty of the law and fair procedures. As lawyers, they are counselors and defenders. Therefore, they should be of service to others, driven by fairness and truth. May they have the right mindset and attitude to fulfill their profession, exercise this privilege with nobility, dignity, and truthfulness. Enable them through your grace to counsel their clients with prudence and righteousness. Never let them compromise the truth, but uphold it at all times. May they be concerned with the best interests of their clients and not to be allured or tempted by money or fame. But please help them to always think of justice and truth as their only intentions. Just and merciful God, guide them to the path, to the straight path. Grant them the grace to dedicate their life to the understanding of the law. Let every word they say speak the truth. Let all their actions serve you and the law. As they make their solemn oath today to discharge their duties faithfully, may you grant them the humility to accept their human limitations, strengthen their resolve to hold fast to the virtues of righteousness and probity by living their lives with integrity, and above all, empower them to live in your law of love, to administer true justice, and to extend mercy and compassion. With such great responsibility, we humbly entrust and dedicate them to you. May they be faithful to their solemn duty, and after a long, fruitful, and dedicated service to you, may they be rewarded by you, O sovereign God of all, with joy, peace, and love. Almighty God, we give you back all the praise and glory. We fervently pray unto you, the Lord of the universe. Amen. Ya Rabbal Alamin.
Please be seated.
Madam Clerk of Court, please call the matter at hand.
Called for today's special en banc session is bar matter number 3967, in re 2022 bar examinations, the oath-taking ceremonies for the successful 2022 bar candidates. Your honors, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the 2022 bar chairperson, the Honorable Associate Justice Alfredo Benjamin S. Caguiwa.
Chief Justice Alex Esmundo, Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonen, Bar Chair for the upcoming bar examinations, Associate Justice Mon Hernando, and my colleagues in the Supreme Court, may it please the Court. Before I make the required motion, and with your leave, I would like to first take this time to address and share some thoughts with the successful bar passers of the 2022 bar examinations. As we start with these formal proceedings, I have a couple of questions to ask the examinees present now, the bar passers. My first question is, mahirap ba yung exam? My second question is, masaya ba kayo na nandito kayo ngayon? On that positive note, if you will indulge me, can I ask all of you to stand up? While standing, try to settle down. Quiet your emotions for a while. Find some silence. Maybe close your eyes and find stillness. And in the stillness and quiet, I invite all of you who are taking your oath today to think of everyone who has played a role in bringing you to this point. Your father, your mother, grandparents, your brothers and sisters, your children, your extended families, your schools, your teachers, your very good friends. And while keeping them in your thoughts, I invite you to feel deep gratitude. Feel thankful for everything that they have given you. The time, the space, the understanding, the patience, the love. Be thankful for everything that they have been to you, the gift that they are to you. Be thankful for the grace that all of your loved ones, maybe by just being there, have given you. And with these loving thoughts, can I ask all of you to give a big and long round of applause for everyone that has brought you here. Please be seated. My dear bar passers of the 2022 bar exams, it is of no accident that we will forever be bound by those 4 days in November 2022. You, me, your examiners over there. So forgive me if I feel a little hesitant to let you all go just yet. Without making our bond a bit more personal, with this little bit of sharing of myself, and with these little bits of pabaon I wish to give each of you. If you will remember, before the taking of any of the exams, both the morning and afternoon exams, just right after the bell, you were given a password to open the exams. Do you remember? For each of the 8 exams in those 4 bar days, you were given a different password each time. Naalala niyo pa ba yung mga passwords na yun? Really? Kaya pala pumasa kayo. Well, let me tell you, those passwords, quotations really, were purposeful as they were very personal to me. They were not random quotes or hortatory declarations just for the sake of having passwords. To the contrary, these passwords describe not just the short journey of an examinee called the bar exams, but they also depict the long journey you, as a successful bar passer, will take in the practice and love of the law. So, first day, at the very beginning, political law. The password or phrase was, if you recall, "The game is afoot, Watson." These words were made famous by Sherlock Holmes, the fictional detective of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock would utter those words when his prey would begin committing the crime that Sherlock was determined to solve. In other words, the hunt is on. And these words surely signaled the beginning of the bar exams, as you, bar examiners, bar examinees, began to solve the problem that was the bar exams. And in the afternoon, in labor law, the password was, "Use your little gray cells." Words that would always be mentioned by Hercule Poirot, the famous Belgian detective created by Agatha Christie. In order to solve the complicated crimes that bedeviled society, Poirot would always admonish his sidekick, Captain Hastings, to use his little gray cells to tackle and unravel the mystery. This was my message to you as you continued to take the bar. Use your little gray cells. The significance of these passwords lies in the characters that made them famous. Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot are regarded in contemporary literature as the paragons of sleuthing and champions of deductive reasoning, as well as the using of one's gray cells to decode the clues in the cases before them. These are the very same skills that each of you, as lawyers, will have to continue to cultivate, nurture, and grow. I refer to critical thinking. At the end of the day, lawyers are the modern-day gladiators who fight for their client's cause. Their main skill set would be critical thinking. And while Sherlock Holmes had his magnifying glass and deductive reasoning, and Poirot had his little gray cells, your tools as lawyers would be words, both written and spoken. They are your weapons for defending your clients against injustice. So please, continue to sharpen them. Continue your mastery of the craft, your mastery of the language. Please do not think that because you have passed the bar exams, everything has been accomplished. No, 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 no. Far from it. Instead, this is only the beginning of your journey as lawyers. As my examiners will back me up, and perhaps as it is with all skills, there remains to be so much room for improvement in your reasoning and in your facility with the written word. Second day of the exams. For criminal law, and in keeping with the subject matter of the crime, the password was, "We matter to God." The complete phrase or quotation is really, "We matter to God, and only God knows why." I had to shorten the phrase because I was told that the examinees were already complaining na napakahaba daw ng mga passwords ko at mahirap daw i-type. Well, that phrase is attributed to Father Brown. He is a fictional character who is the protagonist of a series of detective stories by G.K. Chesterton. Father Brown is depicted as clumsy and naive, but this merely disguises a clever mind, penetrating insight, a gift for careful observation, and a deep understanding of human evil. Whereas Sherlock Holmes is an intellectual, Father Brown is a spiritual man. Sherlock Holmes is interested in solving the crime, but he is not interested in the criminal. Father Brown, on the other hand, is interested in their souls. Father Brown identifies with suspects, and it is by attempting to think and feel as they do that he is able to capture the criminals. These three fictional detectives are heroes of mine growing up. I was, and continue to be, an avid reader of their adventures. I thought of them when I was coming up with passwords, as I believe that they embody the attributes of a good lawyer. The practice of law is, for the most part, adversarial in nature. It is solving problems for clients. And as simple as I can say it, this takes deductive reasoning and critical thought. But in the process of being your client's gladiator in an adversarial proceeding, please remember what Father Brown intuitively understood. That on the other side of that adversarial proceeding is another human being, a person who matters to God, even as we don't know why. This, to me, puts the proper perspective to what lawyers ought to do in the practice of the profession. It is not so much to win at any cost, not to get your client's pound of flesh, but rather to see the adversary as one who has his side of the story to tell, his own right to be heard. I guess what I'm saying is that the practice of law is not so much winning, as if that is the only way to go. Rather, it is achieving justice in a way that is beneficial to all. And as you and I reached the afternoon of the second exam, if you will remember, naubusan na ako ng favorite detectives ko. Napunta tuloy ako sa mga passwords ng mga kanta ng mga favorite musicals ko naman. I told you this is personal. So for the commercial law subject, I chose the song This Is Me from The Greatest Showman, or the biographical musical drama of the story of P.T. Barnum. As you know, P.T. Barnum rose to fame with his circus, showing how imagination plays such a big part in one's success. As well, the story showcases the diversity of humanity on so many levels, a diversity that is now embraced by today's world. The message of the password to you, therefore, is to be yourself, whoever or whatever it is that you want to be. In whatever field of law you go into, whether you go to government or the private sector, be who you are. And whatever it is that you determine yourself to be, use your imagination, as this attribute has so much to give in the field of lawyering. Being yourself and drawing on your lived experiences, that will open the doors to a lot of imaginative thinking, or thinking out of the box, as they say. Halfway through the bar exams on the third day, my message to you for the morning exam of Civil Law 1 is a message I give to all of my lawyers. Dream the impossible dream. That song comes from the musical Man of La Mancha, and it embodies what I believe lawyering should be all about. Don Quixote was a knight-errant, a truly noble and good person who takes up his lance and sword to defend the helpless and destroy the wicked. The very deep message of Don Quixote to us all is to see life not as it is, but as it should be. Indeed, as lawyers, you will be called upon to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for that heavenly cause. At kung itutuloy ko pa, kakanta na ako. For the afternoon exams of Civil Law 2, the password was one day more. That's from the musical Les Miserables. Of course, the direct message of that password was, isang araw na lang at tapos na ang bar examinations. But on a deeper level, one day more is an expression of hope for things to change for everyone. For you, bar passers, one day more is not simply passing the bar. It means one day more where you can play a part in effecting change, positive change, in the country and in the world. I don't know how many of you have read the play or watched the play, but if you think about it, the underlying theme is love. The many kinds of love. The different depths of love. In the case of Eponine for Marius, it was unrequited. For Fantine, for Cosette, it was maternal love. Fatherly love of Jean Valjean for Cosette. The romantic love of Cosette and Marius. For Javert, unyielding and passionate love of the law. For Enolias, love of country. And finally, for Jean Valjean, love for God. That, I submit, should also be the underlying theme of your career as lawyers. Love of country and fellow man, love for the rule of law. And finally, you found yourself on the last day of exams on November 20, 2022. Dalawang exam na lang. So the password for Rem 1 was, and I quote, "I have fought the good fight." The complete reference is in Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." I thought this password to be fitting for the last day, as it summarized the grueling 4 years of law school, the months on end of bar review, that after all of that hard work, you are now finishing the race, having kept the faith. Indeed, the study of law is a fight, it is a race. And that you have kept the faith now sees you today, May 2, about to take your oath as lawyers. And the final password for the last exam of Rem 2 was another passage from the good book, Matthew 6:10. Do you remember? Sino ba yung nag-top ng bar? Do you remember? You don't. Oh my God. Matthew 6:10, "Thy will be done," signifies that after everything that you have put in, all the hard work, all the nights of burning the midnight oil, all the anxiety, all the fear, all the trepidation, that in the end, it is all up to Him. In life, as in the bar exams, everything we do is for naught were it not for Him. It is His will. For you, present today, it is His will that you passed and are now about to take the oath. 8 exams, 8 passwords. Put together, they form what I want to give as a pabaon to each of you. If you will see from the passwords, there is a common thread that runs through all of them. I call it the imprint of a lawyer. That is to say, that a good lawyer must strive to, if not already possess, a delicate medley of virtues and skills. They must be critical thinkers as well as articulate advocates, who are all too aware that they must test everything in the crucible of logic and reason, inasmuch as they are conscious that their words are weapons as they are tools, which can both build and destroy, hate and heal, depending on how they will choose to wield these weapons. Good lawyers are the ones who have a sober recognition that the party on the opposite side of the court are people with stories too. And so they tread gently and compassionately on matters of punishment and justice, for they have a deep appreciation of their true cost. Still, even as they are critical thinkers and compassionate advocates, good lawyers must also be true to themselves as to others, and in that honesty, navigate legal problems with creativity, innovation, and a healthy imagination of how a resolution can serve most, if not all, parties concerned. As well, their courage must be so fueled by love of country, of the law, of others, that their resolve to fight on becomes unshakable, with their conviction running deep, but their love and compassion running deeper still. And finally, but not in the least, good lawyers must know that there truly are heavenly proportions to the toil that we do on this side of life. And in so knowing, are moved to submit to Him every outcome, even as we must presently apply ourselves to approximating, even faintly, what peace and justice on the other side of eternity can look like in the here and now. Let this imprint be upon you, 2022 bar passers. Let it be what defines you, a good lawyer in the truest sense of the word. I hope you will remember the passwords, unlike the number 1 in the bar. And the meanings behind them. Take them to heart as you go off to become the best lawyers you are all meant to be. And this brings me now to introduce to you your 24 examiners, who I believe have that same imprint to the highest degree. These examiners are all my personal choice, as they all embody the defining qualities of the true lawyer, whose critical minds, and more importantly, whose love for the law accounted for the challenging but fair bar questions that were asked. These individuals are, in my opinion, the very best in the different fields of law, and they represent the academe, the judiciary, the public sector, and the private practice. Each of these individuals gave so much of their own personal time to conscientiously craft questions that sought to measure the basic competence of all the prospective lawyers. With the passion that they all personally possess, they corrected each question that was given conscientiously and at times compassionately. Wading through the thousands upon thousands of your answers, constantly, relentlessly, and into the wee hours of the morning, every day, for a period of almost 5 months. So may I now request the examiner to please rise as you are called, so that you may be recognized. For political law, former chairman of the COA and presently chairman of the Philippine Competition Commission, Mr. Michael Aguinaldo. A UP College of Law constitutional law professor and a member of the Corps of Professors for Constitutional Law of the PhilJA, Professor Dante Gatmaitan. A bar reviewer for over 20 years and an author of books, Professor Reynaldo G. Lopez. Professor Lopez is the author of That Question Against the Wall. For labor law, a partner in Sobreviñas, Hayudini, Navarro, and San Juan, Attorney Tip San Juan. Is she here? The former head of the Employment and Immigration Practice Group of CICIP Salazar, Hernandez and Gatmaitan, Professor Luisito Liban. A respected lecturer, teacher, and educator of labor law, who has decades of experience in legal empowerment work, Professor Marlon Manuel. For criminal law, former presiding judge of the MTC of Makati and presiding judge of the Regional Trial Court of Makati, and incumbent Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals, Justice Carlito B. Calpatura. Was the former presiding judge of the RTC of Makati City, Branch 223, and who just recently retired, Judge Pepe Aresa. Atero in Ateneo Law School and a current professor as its Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Professor Vanny Valiente. For commercial law, I don't know if she's here, former chairperson of the Securities and Exchange Commission and formerly the head of litigation and co-managing partner of ACRA Law, Chairperson Teresita Herbosa. She's in Japan, enjoying herself. Next, for commercial law, is Vice President and Head of Corporate Legal of Meralco, and Professor and Reviewer in Commercial Law Review, Transportation Law Review, Sales, Lease, and Corporation Law at the Ateneo and San Beda, Professor Maria Zara Villanueva Castro. Formerly a senior partner of CICIP Salazar, Hernandez and Gatmaitan, and was known in practice to be the banking guru who brought his expertise to the service of the people when he became an undersecretary of the then DOTC, Attorney Juju Lotilla. For civil law, the killer subjects. Presently, the managing partner of CICIP Salazar, Hernandez and Gatmaitan, and author of a number of civil law books, Professor Hector De Leon. The next is an esteemed professor of civil law for 44 years in various law schools. I think he's sick. He texted me he couldn't come, but his name is Professor Avelino Sebastian Jr. On a side note, he was my professor in wills and succession and was the professor even of the Chief Justice and the professor of most of the examiners. The third examiner for Civil Law 1 is a distinguished member of the Ateneo Law School faculty since 1991, and currently the director for the Graduate Legal Studies Institute, Professor Ampi Santamaria. For Civil Law 2, Civil Law 2. Wow, diba? Wow. I will now identify to you the villains. Former Laguna Municipal Trial Court Judge, Presiding Judge of the Regional Trial Court Branch for Manila, and currently an incumbent Court of Appeals Justice, Justice Jolo de la Rosa. The next person is somebody who has a deep knowledge of land registration. He is LRA Deputy Administrator and Professor and Bar Reviewer, Deputy Administrator Bob Leiretana. The third examiner is somebody you probably know very well. I think she's very active in social media. She placed #1 in the 2005 bar examinations, became General Counsel of Felix, and is currently Deputy Chief Legal Counsel and OIC Head for Regulatory and Strategic Affairs for PLDT, Attorney Joan de Venecia Fabul. Now let's go to the heroes. I'm just joking. For Remedial Law 1, former Chief of Staff of the Executive Secretary in the Office of the President from 2010 to 2016. He is an incumbent Associate Justice of the Sandigan Bayan and Chair of its 4th Division, Justice Michael Musni. The second examiner is a long-standing professor and probably already an institution in the UP College of Law for how tough she can be. Vix was trained at CSIP Salazar, and I had the occasion to work with her in our early years. She brought her litigation skill to the public sector when she became Commissioner of the PCGG under Chairman Heidi Yorak, Professor Victoria A. Avena. Former MTCC Judge of Calamba for 5 years, former Executive Judge of the RTC of Pasay City, and currently an incumbent Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals and a highly respected lecturer on remedial law, Justice Elma Wagan. For Remedial Law 2, this person placed second in the 2000 bar examinations and one of the most brilliant minds I have ever encountered. He was a founding partner in my law firm before I left to join government in 2013. He's a recognized expert in civil and commercial litigation and dispute resolution, Attorney Paulo Protasio. The next examiner is the person who beat Paulo by placing first in the 2001 bar examinations. He is currently the president of Alpha Land Corporation and its affiliates and the managing partner of his own law firm, Ponferrada, San Juan, and Fernando's law offices, Attorney Rodolfo Ponferrada. And finally, and certainly not the least, the third examiner served the judiciary in all court levels, and most significantly, the first to have achieved a zero backlog or zero docket upon every promotion to the next level court until retirement, the 171st Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, my good friend, Senior Associate Justice Telly Bernabe. Please, applause for all of them. Please remember who these individuals are. Their full names and details are in the program that has been given to you. So after today, each one of you can submit your resumes and application letters to them, as they certainly cannot deny due consideration of your applications in as much as you pass their exam questions. More so, your performance in the exams, which they have crafted, makes salient the exceptional performance of not only individual bar examinees, but more so the collective feats of the various law schools as well. Accordingly, I wish to also recognize the schools which obtained the 5 highest bar passers percentages, covering all bar candidates in their respective categories, and I ask the respective deans to rise as their schools are called. For law schools with more than 100 candidates, covering all bar candidates, first, Ateneo de Manila University. Second, San Beda University. Third, University of the Philippines. Fourth, University of San Carlos. And fifth, University of Santo Tomas. For law schools with more than 100 candidates, covering first-time candidates. First, San Beda University. Second, Ateneo de Manila University. Third, University of the Philippines. Fourth, University of San Carlos. And fifth, University of Santo Tomas. For law schools with 51 to 100 candidates, covering all bar candidates. First, Ateneo de Davao University. Second, St. Louis University. Third, University of Cebu. Fourth, Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan. And fifth, Jose Maria College. For law schools with 51 to 100 candidates, covering first-time candidates. First, Ateneo de Davao. Second, Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan. Third, Jose Maria College. Fourth, De La Salle University. And fifth, University of San Agustin. For law schools with 11 to 50 candidates, covering all bar candidates. First, University of Asia and the Pacific School of Law. Second, Angeles University Foundation. Third, Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. Fourth, Ateneo de Zamboanga. And fifth, Mariano Marcos State University. For law schools with 11 to 50 candidates covering first-time bar candidates, first, University of Asia and the Pacific School of Law. Second, St. Louis University and Ateneo de Zamboanga Tide. Third, Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Fourth, University of Mindanao. And fifth, University of Cebu. For law schools with 10 or fewer candidates, covering all bar candidates, the first we have Emilio Aguinaldo College and Our Lady of Mercy College. Second is University of Makati. Third is University of Caloocan. Fourth is Western Leyte College of Ormoc. And fifth, St. Mary's College of Tagum. And finally, for law schools with 10 or fewer first-time candidates, first is Emilio Aguinaldo College. Second, we have a tie between St. Thomas More School of Law and the University of Makati. Third is the University of Caloocan. Fourth is the University of Bohol. And fifth, Mariano Marcos State University. A big round of applause for everybody. We recognize as well today the examinees who garnered the top 30 positions. I will not mention your names anymore kasi nasa YouTube na kayo. But I will ask you to please stand up as a group. Can I ask you to please face your peers? Face your peers. Thank you. Dapat daw kasi 1 minute para makuha daw lahat ng mukha niyo. And then I realized lahat kayo nakamaskara, so wag na lang, di ba? And finally, allow me to point out that the 2022 bar examinations was also witness to an abundance of inspiring stories of courage, determination, steadfastness, and most importantly, hope. In addition to celebrating the bar passers seated in front of you, who obtained the 30 highest grades, I also wish to mention that there are bar passers in this hall who have displayed uncommon courage and grit, although perhaps not nearly quantifiable in graded weight averages. Among the bar passers in this room are those who have taken the bar perhaps straight out of law school, as well as those who have returned to the pursuit of law after many years, perhaps even decades, of putting it on the shelf. Within this hall are people who have overcome so much and who have proven that if there is a fight left in you for your dreams, it is truly reasonable to keep on fighting. Those who passed the bar exams after many previous attempts, and those who have not given up on this dream despite life happening to them. I wish to congratulate and celebrate you as well. You know who you are. Please, a round of applause for all of them. Finally, allow me to make certain acknowledgments. The success of the 2022 bar examinations would not have been possible without the strong partnership that the court has forged with each of the 14 local testing centers, or LTCs as we call them, and the incredible communities behind them, whose immeasurable help and firm support allowed us to continue to bring the bar examinations closer to the bar examinees across the nation. Beginning from the first negotiations all the way to the 4 days of the bar examinations, thank you, thank you, thank you for hosting our examinees, as well as our court personnel and volunteers. I can only hope that this will lead to more partnerships between your good institutions and the court. So I now take this opportunity to recognize each of the 14 LTCs we collaborated with last year, represented here today by their law deans. You would have taken your exam in one of these 14. I invite you to stand up as I call your name so that you may be recognized. Can I begin with Dean Joey Hofelenia of the Ateneo de Manila? Dean Gil de los Reyes of La Salle. Dean Maria Isabel Romero of De La Salle Lipa. Dean Tranquil Salvador of Manila Adventist College. Dean Edgardo Vistan of the University of the Philippines. Dean Marciano Delson of San Beda University. Dean Antonio Rivero of University of Nueva Cáceres. Dean Christine Angelica Elevena Carantes of St. Louis. Dean Al Schweid Ismael of University of Cebu. Dean Jose Glenn Capanas of University of San Carlos. Associate Dean Sherry Lopez Chu of Dr. Vicente Orestes Romualdez Educational Foundation. Dean Sylvia Sabio of Xavier University. Dean Manuel Kibod of Ateneo de Davao. And Dean Maria Corazon Montemor of Ateneo de Zamboanga. I also wish to take pause to thank the court and the various key offices and the court personnel who underpinned the 2022 bar preparations with their invaluable help. To my colleagues, the Chief Justice, Senior Associate Justice, and Associate Justices of the Court, thank you once again for your unqualified support and generosity of wisdom throughout the bar examinations period. Thank you. To the court community and the hardworking personnel, thank you for giving your time and energy and working tirelessly behind the scenes. I would like to particularly express our gratitude to the Office of the Bar Confidant, as represented by Attorney Entila, Engineer Lejano, and joined by Attorney Pamela Aportadera, Attorney Vilches Malyari, Attorney Untalan, and Julian Bello. Where are you? Please get to know who they are, because when an administrative case is filed against you, they're the people to know. The Management Information Systems Office, as headed by Attorney Sherwin Uy, for ensuring the success of digitalized bar exams and the release of the results. Attorney Sherwin, where are you? The Public Information Office, headed by Attorney Brian Hosaka, for keeping the examinees and the public promptly informed about bar-related matters. Attorney Brian, where are you? There he is. The Office of Administrative Services, headed by Attorney Kari Kunanan, for assistance in procurement and logistics concerns, the most important person in the Supreme Court. Where is he? The other more important office, the Fiscal Management and Budget Office, for ensuring that all financial issues were addressed. Special shout out to Attorney Manny Caparas and Attorney Bettina Melchor. for being our ever-present and crucially supportive bar consultants. As well, for Dr. Prudencio Banson of the Medical and Dental Services for providing the necessary medical support during an ongoing pandemic. And the security team, as headed by CJSO Jerry Gayanan, is he here? He ensured the safety of all the teams deployed for the bar examinations. You are here because he did his job. May I add that in furtherance of the innovations and bar reforms first undertaken during the 2020-21 bar exams, I'm also proud to share that the 2022 bar exams was mounted on the shoulders of mostly organic and existing Supreme Court personnel. This importantly demonstrates that the court is now perfectly capable of conducting the succeeding bar examinations in this new modality. This is largely owed to the perseverance, diligence, and excellence of the court's key offices that I have just mentioned. I therefore congratulate and celebrate our court personnel for proving how exceedingly well people can step up, show up, and deliver when they are empowered and believed in. And I believed in you. I am mighty proud of each of you, and I am eternally grateful. And finally, malapit na to. I would be remiss if I failed to express my deepest gratitude to my incredibly hardworking staff, whose constant support, creativity, exceptional professionalism, and cheerful disposition throughout the entire process allowed our team to brave through the bar examinations. Allow me, please, to take this brief moment this morning to personally recognize them. My team's bar staff head and tech team member, Attorney Lem Arenas. Our operations team headed by Attorney Chris Martinez. Ably supported by Attorneys Navarro and Joben Udulio. Attorney Loris Villar for the Security and LGU Coordination. Attorney Muviel Martinez being the person in charge of the health concerns. Our technology tech team headed by Attorney Mary Mendoza. With attorneys Charles Avila and Ras Mano. Obviously, they asked me to name them, di ba? Our personal team, headed by Attorney Michelle Dugil, ably assisted by Attorneys Regine Abuel and Micaela Altavas. And Regine Tumlos, who was also the venue supervisor for the St. Louis University. Our procurement team, headed by Attorney Marie Panganiban, and joined by Attorney Trixie Elamparo. Our finance team, headed by, again, Lem, Attorney Mano, Zara May Rivero, and Justine Galang. Our venue negotiations team, headed by Attorney Ayla Salendab, who, by the way, is a Muslim princess, and she told me to say that. Our communications team, headed by Attorney Liway Makatangay, as ably assisted by Attorneys Abuel, Altavas, and Paula Pulido. And finally, ang dami ko ng finally, I would like to thank my academics team. This is headed by Attorney Bern Bathan Baswell, with Attorney Donna Bernardo, my judicial staff head, Rudy Sanidad, again, Lem Arenas, Harvey Bilang, Trixie, and Liway. To all of you, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. On that note, I, as the chairperson of the 2022 bar examinations, hereby petition the Honorable Court for the admission of the successful bar candidates into the legal profession. Chief Justice Alexis Mundo and my esteemed colleagues in the Supreme Court, pursuant to Section 17, 18, and 19 of Rule 138 of the Rules of Court and the applicable resolutions of the Supreme Court, I pray that these successful bar candidates, whose names are on the list certified by the Bar Confidant and who are now all before us, be admitted as members of the Philippine Bar with the distinction, responsibilities, and privilege appurtenant thereto. I further pray that their oath as lawyers be accordingly administered and their names be entered in the roll of attorneys of the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Thank you, Your Honors.
There being no objection, the Court hereby grants the petition for admission to the bar of the successful 2022 bar examinees. Attorney Maripel Lumibao-Cuevas, the Clerk of Court, may now administer the lawyer's oath.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I request the successful 2022 bar passers to please stand up and raise your right hand. Please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I accept the honor, privilege, duty, and responsibility of practicing law in the Philippines as an officer of the court in the interest of our people. I declare fealty to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. In doing so, I shall work towards promoting the rule of law and the regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace. I shall conscientiously and courageously work for justice, as well as safeguard the rights and meaningful freedoms of all persons, identities, and communities. I shall ensure greater and equitable access to justice. I shall do no falsehood, nor shall I pervert the law to unjustly favor nor prejudice anyone. I shall faithfully discharge these duties and responsibilities to the best of my ability, with integrity and utmost civility. I impose all this upon myself without mental reservation nor purpose of evasion. So help me God. Let us give a warm round of applause to our new lawyers. Congratulations. You may now be seated. To give his address to the new lawyers, let us all welcome the 2023 Bar Chairperson, the Honorable Associate Justice Ramon Paul L. Hernando.
Chief Justice Alexander G.S. Mundo, Senior Associate Justice Mario Victor F. Leonen, Associate Justice and 2022 Bar Chair Alfredo Benjamines Caguiwa, Justice Ami C. Lazaro Javier, Justice Henry Jean Paul B. Inting, Justice Rodil V. Zalameda, Justice Mario V. Lopez, Justice Samuel H. Gerlan, Justice Ricardo R. Rosario, Justice Joseph Y. Lopez, Justice Japar B. Dimampao, Justice Jose Maidas P. Marquez, Justice Antonio T. Co. Jr., and Justice Maria Filomena D. Singh, our 2022 bar examiners, to the successful bar examinees gathered here today, and to their chosen guests and loved ones joining them in these ceremonies, good afternoon. I will keep my speech very short because I'm sure some of you are itching to file your initial pleading this afternoon. To each one of you, 2022 bar passers, congratulations. Your prayers have been heard. You now reap what you have sowed. And from here on, it will be as if you have been granted with the remedy under Rule 103 of the Rules of Court. People will begin referring to you in public using not anymore your real name, but with your first new name, that is attorney. And yet, we first need to take a glimpse at the other side of your 2022 bar examinations. You may all have toiled through law school, despaired during the pre-bar review, and crawled and clawed your way to the end of the examinations, but the office of the 2022 Bar Chair made your examinations happen in the first place. Baristas probably have little to no idea as to the goings-on in the backstage of the bar examinations. But I can tell you now, the transition to a digitalized and regionalized conduct of the bar examinations has not been an easy undertaking. It was, from all indications, a nightmare for the 2022 bar chair, Justice Ben, much more so with COVID then surging at its peak. But the 2022 bar team made the entire nightmare seem just like a good dream. And this dream came true with a very happy ending for each one of you. Just as it was with the 2020-2021 bar examinations that was steered to pioneering heights by Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonen. You are privileged to have taken and hurdled and even topped the Kagiwao bar that was so masterfully orchestrated by Justice Ben, your bar chair. The office of the 2022 bar chair is that incredible. And it is for this reason that they deserve a long, resounding applause. I also take this moment to recognize the especially selected companions of our new lawyers who are here present. I believe that they are your greatest supporters, and it is highly likely because of them that you are here now before the court unbanked. I invite all our new lawyers to give the loudest cheers to your mother, your father, your lola, your lolo, your children, your significant other, who are all your life's top ones. But if you alone have brought yourself all the way through law school up to this point, I salute you, attorney, and I'm proud of you. You deserve your own special round of applause from everyone here present. My dear 2022 bar passers, your rite of passage into the legal profession shall culminate shortly with your signature on the roll of attorneys. There are, however, 3 simple notes that I would like each one of you to keep in mind as you finally and officially add your name to the list of attorneys in our country. First reminder, being a lawyer is not a job. We all desire a comfortable life. Lawyering is indeed a means of earning a living, and a very lucrative one at that. There is nothing wrong in the clean pursuit of prosperity. However, membership in the bar is not a self-centered occupation. It is a delicate and jealous privilege, a dangerous mission
towards fairness and justice, and an unbreakable relationship with society. Your chosen profession's success is not accurately measured in terms of only money or fame. It is not in the awards and official recognitions that you may receive. Neither is it in the promotions you may enjoy, nor in the parties thrown your way in your name. The yardstick of a lawyer's success is not in the profuse thank yous, the big sigh of relief, the genuinely happy and tearful smiles of people whose legal troubles were finally resolved. In truth, the true golden laurel rests in the lives and livelihoods that were secured, the rights that were protected, the injustices that were rectified, and the justice that was served. Do not equate the progress of your career with just the numbers on your bank books or the price upgrades in the brands that you purchase, the car that you drive, or the likes you garnered on your social media posts. In this line of work, you may discover a lot of ugly truths and uncover a number of laundered secrets. You will encounter all sorts of people and transactions, and even be allured by sinful offers you cannot easily refuse. Your ideals and principles may cower in the face of harsh reality, and you should expect to tread the path of disillusionment one of these years. It is human reflex to be selfish when trifled with adversity. It is normal to seek your life's comforts and protect your own interests. But in the midst of selfishness, temptations, and adversity, endeavor to stick to your original ideals. Pursue them bravely, even if you are alone in doing so. Be compassionate, even if it may seem impractical, unprofitable, and unsafe. Your convenience must never compromise the dispensation of justice. You must know the problems of the community you belong in. Read the papers, watch the local news, open your eyes to the prevailing realities. Listen to small voices, to helpless cries, to impassioned roars, to silent objections, and act on them. Look out for their welfare. There will be people who will need your services, but there are more others who deserve your assistance. You will learn to distinguish and handle these two. I therefore enjoin you to aim to be a lawyer of good repute throughout your professional lives. Second reminder, keep your feet on the ground. Certainly, today is your day. However, it shall not be every day that a band marches in your honor just because you have become a lawyer. Your ATTY period is a professional title, not a social rank. It is never a license to lord over the other professions, for they are never beneath us. It is not a tool to skirt around the laws and the rules just for purely selfish motives. Your title is a mandate to serve and not be served. Such being the case, your title is not entirely your own. Whatever you do reflects on the profession that you represent. Do not put the name of our legal profession in vain. Exercise whatever authority you hold with correlative responsibility and accountability. Give everyone the same treatment and due respect, regardless of the title they hold, the uniform they wear, or their standing in life. And foremost, at all times, check your privilege. Entitlement is a sickness. Guard yourselves against severe self-importance, for it will lead you to cliffs of mediocrity. My third and last reminder: excel responsibly. You are already excellent at this point. And I know that you can do more and even better. I pray that 5 or 50 years from now, you will stay as bright-eyed as you are at this moment. But as you continue to excel, be always aware of your moral limits. Please do not excel in wrongdoing. It is significant to note that you are the very first utterers of the revised lawyer's oath. You are. And that the new CIPRA, or the Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability, was born in the same year as your status as a lawyer. The CIPRA, albeit with its canons condensed, is necessarily lengthier than its predecessor, the Code of Professional Responsibility. But all of it can easily be summed up by just correctly answering one question: what would a decent person do? Hold yourself out in accordance with the rules of basic human decency. The little things matter. Never use your capacity as a lawyer to run through that red light in the streets or disregard numbered coding schemes. The court will not hesitate to confiscate your lawyer's license if you do that. Win arguments with sound basis. Just dropping the lawyer card by declaring, "I am a lawyer," will not automatically mean that you are right. Do not skip lines. Being a lawyer does not make you more important than non-lawyers. Be aware that the word of a lawyer can sway people's views and public opinion, and know that you are already an influencer in your own professional capacity. Thus, please wield your words with extreme caution in whichever medium you may speak. Be careful what you click online. TikTok wisely. Keep a clean profile. Call out improprieties in Facebook pages and lawyer groups. Do not join improprieties in Facebook pages and lawyer groups. Let me stress, improprieties only, okay? Hindi yung proprieties. It is so easy now to abuse the power of the internet and the social media, as the remoteness and anonymity that they promise is effective in empowering recklessness. Refrain from any such temptation unless you want to run the risk of self-ruin. And if ever you rise to fame, do not let the fame and attention get the better of your values. And of course, you can always choose to be more generous. Work on a cause gratis and pro bono at least 1,000 times in your professional life. All I would like to impart to you, our new lawyers, is that no matter what you do, never tarnish the image and integrity of the legal profession in all your dealings and actuations, whether in a personal capacity or in the course of your duties as a member of the bar, directly or indirectly, in person or online. Conduct yourselves in a way that shall leave no doubt as to the merits of your entitlement to the professional title of attorney. This new world before you is beautiful, but you know that it is not an ideal one. Regardless of how you will discover it to be, do not stray from the truth, and please protect what is fair. Be wary at all times of the oath that you have just sworn to as a lawyer. Savor it, digest it. Every single one of those words shall behold you to the fragile confidence of your colleagues, your clients, the courts, the public, and this nation that you are about to serve. Beyond all things else, do not forget that you are a Filipino. Love and defend your country wherever you may be. You are now on the other side of the bar. Be kind, be humbled by your every success in the future. Remember to be always grateful. Only greater things await you all hereafter. Again, congratulations, and please enjoy the rest of this very special day.
Thank you for the inspirational message, Justice Hernando. Please rise for the singing of the Philippine Judiciary Hymn to be led by the Supreme Court Choir.
Liberty, a
Please be seated.
Madam Clerk of Court, are there any other matters at hand?
There are no other matters for today's special and bank session, Your Honor.
There being no other matters, today's special session is hereby adjourned.
All rise. Please remain standing and maintain your decorum while the Chief Justice, the Senior Associate Justice, and the Associate Justices leave the session hall. Okay.
May we just make a couple of important announcements? First, may we request that the inductees and guests at the reception hall fully vacate the same to make way for the roll signing preparations. And second, the inductees and guests may leave the PICC premises for the lunch break, but kindly ensure that you return at least 30 minutes before your scheduled roll signing hour. For those who will opt to stay within the PICC premises, you may stay at Forum 1, 2, or 3, or the plenary hall. Light snacks are available for purchase at Via Mare. Thank you very much and congratulations once again.
Okay. Picture, picture.